Greetings from Dystopia, episode 226, Miscellaneous. Out grabbing some groceries. I felt like roast chicken and roast veggies for dinner. Or roast chicken and veggies, even though I do them separate. So yeah, I had to run out and get that stuff for it. Nothing fancy today, just going to answer a couple questions. First one came in from the Facebook page, kind of a direct message, but why the Raspberry Pi? It has no power, meaning processing power. Why not just go to eBay and buy a used laptop or a desktop? You could, but the idea of this project, I think you have to go back one more Tech Tuesday, and I fleshed it out there. My daughter is a big fan of techno thrillers and spy novels, so she wanted a micro computer to handle communications, just to be silly. It's just, the idea behind the project. It's just something fun. Sure, you could do that and go to eBay and pick one up, $150, $200, but the idea of this project is cheap. And in reality, doing email, you don't need a lot of horsepower. So the Raspberry Pi Zero is perfect. The comment went on to just talk about how he gets mad. He's bought a couple Raspberry Pis and it's like, I can't play games on them. I can't load Windows program. Well, yeah, you've missed the concept here. They were originally designed for STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, for kids to learn robotics and programming and gathering data from sensors, It's not meant to be a gaming machine. That said, you can game on them. There are games that run on them. The Raspberry Pi 4, so the newest generation with the larger RAM, can actually run Windows 10. Not the greatest, but it's getting there. Microsoft has said that they will start supporting ARM, and they already do to a certain extent, but more towards the embedded side, not towards the desktop side. They're getting there. Be patient. There's a lot of people who have already taken Raspberry Pi compute modules and hooked up GPU video cards for full horsepower, gaming among other things, but primary idea is processing power. So, if you look at a Raspberry Pi Zero and go, I can't game on that, and not look at the broader spectrum of the capabilities or the available projects, then you're going to miss the point of it. They're the perfect platform for tinkerers, for, like I said, students that want to learn programming. It's a 40 zone, dude, and I'm already speeding. That also got some jokes the other day. I'm doing 43 and a 35 and they're passing me. But anyway, don't overlook the simple functions of these things. If you need a small embedded computer or a single task computer, it's hard to beat a Raspberry Pi for it. Perfect example today, I'm running out of disk space on my NAS, network attached storage. I don't have the budget for it, for bigger drives or buying a bigger NAS. So I looked around and said, well, what do I got? I've got a few 1 terabyte USB hard drives, and I have a spare Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, I think that one is. So I'm going to load it and turn it into a NAS. Plug in some hard drives, and I'm done for free because I already had everything. That's where a Raspberry Pi excels. It's single tasks. They're great unitaskers. Eee, could you get any closer, dude? That van missed me by about 3 or 4 inches in the front. I hate this intersection. It's an off angle, so it's really hard to see. All right, anyway. So, I'm glad to answer Raspberry Pi questions, but it's not a Windows 10 i7 balls to the wall computer. That's not what it's intended for. The other one was, what type of knives do I carry or use routinely while hiking or camping? Everyday carry, I have an old timer by Schrade in my pocket that belonged to my dad. Probably bought in the early 70s. He passed away in the mid 70s. And I carry an Opinel quite often. Actually, I have one on me right now. Number 8 carbon. But yeah, and then I've talked about the ones for hiking and camping. It's typically an Opinel or a Mora. In my pack all the time I have a Mora Eldris. It's a little small blade. I just showed that a couple episodes back. Stupid handy. But yeah, those are great knives. Opinel I came across in the mid 80s when I was stationed in Germany, and I have owned them ever since. I love the Opinel knives. It's kind of hard to beat any pauper knife if you want to look at that as a category. Next question was, how's the diet going? It's going okay. I've actually put back on 16 pounds, but I'm still down 42 pounds. So, yeah. This week I started back on with recording everything I eat and getting back to stricter diet. So, kind of slacked off for a couple months there, 3 months, and it's not bad to only put on average 5 1/3 pound a month. I could definitely bulk up faster than that, but yeah, sorry. It is what it is. Next question is a new viewer, Michael. Just going to paraphrase here. Michael said, I've been watching some of your past videos and it seems to alternate between tech and outdoors hiking and etc. And then he asks, well, good, I got a red light. Then he asked me, what's my background? What do I do for a living? Sometimes I think you're a ranger as often as you're in the woods and outside in general. That would be a cool job. It's always been my dream job. You and me both. Michael, I'm in IT. I've been in IT for almost 30 years. But yeah, so that's definitely where the tech background comes from. I think I would be interested in it regardless if I was in IT or anything else. Tech, and particularly computers and communications, has always fascinated me. So I got nothing, but that's the truth. It's what it is. It's what makes me happy. I like tinkering and I like working around a problem and trying to figure out a solution. Got hot. And that was all of those questions. But the first Raspberry Pi question, I think, needs a little bit more follow-up. Like I said, the concept behind this was my daughter's idea for a small, discrete communications device. Is it voice communications? No. Could it do it? Using Speak's protocol, you could probably do it with a Raspberry Pi, with a Zero. You have to add an audio board, but you could probably do it. It's mostly for text messaging, not text as in email. I guess you could do SMS on it and things like that. It's not intended for video calling or video conference or anything like that. It's just for text, just to be fun. We could add a lot more functionality to it. But yeah, the idea was to be fun and inexpensive. You know, you're in it $9 for the Raspberry Pi Zero, another $9 and change for the case, micro SD card. So yeah, all told, you're in it for under $30. You know, it's just for fun. Could we expand on it from there? Sure. Another viewer sent me an email and was asking, well, how would you find the device on an unknown network? You know, like you walked into a coffee shop. There's a couple different ways to do that with the on-the-go capability with the right terminal for your computer. TTY type TTY type terminal, serial type terminal. You could connect to it by an OTG cable, on the go cable, and do an if config and find out the interface IP. You could install a lightweight web server, so you know it always has a device address. Connect to it through a web browser on your phone, find out that information that way. I could put in a small 22 or 24 by 24 millimeter OLED, or an old 2-row by 24 character LCD, so you could look at the case itself and read its IP address. There's a lot of stuff you could do with it, but that's well beyond the simplistic scope. Just let's get to the end of it, build it, get it working, and then see where we can go from there. He also asked, how do you shut it down if it's battery powered? Then there's no switches. You could do it from command line shutdown, a menu option. You know, you log in, there's a menu. Oops, wrong turn. And go from there. So yeah, you could definitely do it. We could add a button that holding the button for X seconds institutes a shutdown script. That's probably what we'll end up doing, just to keep it simple. Kiss principle. But yeah, there's a lot of things we can do with it. So let's just get it working, and then those of you that are building it, or maybe you see something that you've got a question about or an idea about, we can do it from there. So anyway, pretty much it. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to dinner. How's that for a subject change? Just roast chicken and roast vegetables. Yes. And Aldi actually had blue Stilton cheese. If you love blue cheese, you will be totally smitten with blue Stilton. If you can't stand blue cheese, I can't help you there. Alright, anyway. I will show you a quick little blurb from the desk to show you the Flirc case, F-L-I-R-C. I had quite a few questions on that case. I'll also put in the description a link to it on Amazon to find the case for those of you that want to build on that case. What case you choose is up to you. So anyway, I'll show you the little bit of the case at the end here, and that's it. But I'll say goodbye from here. So stay after the credits to see the case. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Be good, be well, wear a mask, stay smart, be strong, stay mighty. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday or before if I release another video. I'm going to go do some walking this weekend out in the woods, so it might be another episode this weekend. Alright, guys, that's it. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Take care. Alright, just a real quick show off of the case. Here's one right here. It's actually powered up and running right now. But I'll show you just how easily this goes together. And this is what I love about Flirc. They really think about their case designs. So I guess for those of you that like this kind of thing, this is an unboxing video. So the case, as you can see it, is in the little foam packaging. It comes with two different covers, screws, heat transfer tape. This is just a little lanyard, but I'm sure you could fit a key ring through there, which is actually my intent, but we'll see how that goes. So the top of the case can either be solid or have the notch in it. As you can see from the underside, this will mount in there this way, but it gives you access to the pins. So if you have one with the pins pre-soldered, you get the access to it like that. But the basic concept is the thermal tape goes on this pad to create a contact with the CPU, turns the case into a heat sink. The board drops down in, bottom of the case goes on, 4 screws, and as the Brits like to say, Bob's your uncle. You now have a completely portable, compact computer. And that's it. Dead simple.